This is Ron getting ready to build the heat frames for our organic seed starts. He's looking stuff up on his smartphone and using a measuring tape. This is the base of the heat mat being built. And we put on a heat cable, and that should heat all of the flats to 70 degrees, which is optimum germination temperature. So there's a piece of glass plex underneath there, and then this foam. And
3/4 inch thick.
3/4 inch thick, he says.
Foam, foil-faced foam.
Foil-faced foam is what's needed. So we learned this at SOG. Get the government's money's worth out of it.
There's enough to make more.
And there's enough to make more because you have to buy it in sheets. So if you're doing it with a friend, maybe you can go in together.
Or you can come out here and you get this.
Or you can come out here and get this, Ron says. We'll sell it to you cheap. I don't know how this thing works. Okay, so he's putting down this heat cable, which he got online from a company in, I think,
Territorial Seed Company.
Territorial Seed Company.
It's a 24-foot cable.
24-foot cable.
Covers 6 square feet.
Covers 6 square feet.
That's what this size is. That's enough for 4 flats.
Okay, and it's going to cover that board. It's enough for 4 flats. And then I believe we stack the flats, so.
Yeah.
So
you get 5 flats high.
Okay. 5 flats high.
Times 4 of them would be 20 flats.
So 20 flats will fit on this little thing after it's done. And he's putting the cable on with just cable clamps that you get from the hardware store. Low voltage cable staples. There you go.
Thermostat. This is the thermostat.
And there's a thermostat on it.
This makes it cycle on and off.
Which makes it cycle on and off.
There you go.
That's the thermostat there. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to wrap this up and get it covered real good. Okay. So we've applied the heat cable. It makes Ron crazy because it's not even and pretty. He likes symmetrical. So, but you want to make sure that the wires aren't too close to each other, the cable isn't too close to itself, and that it's not too close to that thermostat because it'll throw it off.
It needs to not cross.
It needs to not cross. So it just has to, you just have to loop it in there and try to get, as much coverage. There's a piece of screen that's going to go over it, aluminum screen, and that's going to help dissipate the heat and make it more even. But make sure that it's not too close to itself and that it does not cross. It also needs to be away from that thermostat so the thermostat doesn't get set off incorrectly. Okay, next step, aluminum not galvanized screen.
That transfers the heat.
And it transfers the heat more evenly. Also, if your heat cable is too hot, then you need to move it away from the adjacent cable. And if it's too cold, you move it closer.
No, the other way around.
Oh, sorry, other way around. If it's too cold,
if it's too cold, then you move it farther from the cable.
If it's too cold, you move it further from the cable.
And if it's too hot, then you move it closer.
If it's
to the
too
adjacent
hot,
cable.
you move it closer to the adjacent cable. That way you kind of regulate the thermostat on it. And so you lay down your aluminum not galvanized screen, and over that goes
This is just plastic carpet runner.
plastic carpet runner.
It keeps the water from getting on
That,
that.
that keeps the water from getting on the heat cable, which is plugged into the wall, and that's a very good thing. This is Ron struggling with the masking tape. Okay, so it goes on like that. Okie dokie.
That's it.
One each
Propagation mat.
propagation mat.
So
All told, how much money have you got in it?
I got $50 in the cable.
Cable's $50.
That was the most expensive part. And then all these other things, probably I've got about 75,
Okay.
maybe 80 in it.
Okay.
Propagation mat this big, that's a mat, is about $225.
Okay, so the parts and materials to build this one, $75 or $80, and propagation mat that size is going to be about $200. So you can do the math. Okay, all of these flats and trays need to be washed in a 10% bleach solution to kill off any nastiness, since we're using used, reduced, recycled flats. Then I'm going to wash all of these out real good in a 10% bleach solution. I'm not real sure what 10% is, so I'm going to put way enough in there. So that's the next step in this, and then we will get all of the, we'll start mixing the soil. Since we're organic, then there's some different things that we put in here.